appears, we think that Jesus' second coming, we like to think that it's God's escape plan for us. But it's not an escape plan for His bride. It's actually going to be a wedding celebration. When Jesus comes back, it's going to be a wedding celebration. It's not an escape plan.
Right.
As we move into our tithes and offerings,
Thank you, Zach.
what are we holding back today?
Come on.
You know, there's a young man that had an encounter with Jesus, and he was holding something back. And it was so big, what he was holding back was so big that Jesus said he could not enter the kingdom of heaven
Come on.
for holding this one thing back. It was impossible for anybody to enter the kingdom of heaven. It's actually more possible for a camel to go through a needle's eye than to enter the kingdom of heaven.
Come on.
Now, that's interesting because we know that a camel cannot go through an eye of a needle. So it's impossible. Listen to this. This was recorded in 3 of the 4 Gospels, so it's pretty important.
Yeah.
It says, Mark chapter 10, verse 17, as he, Jesus, went out into the street, a man came running up, greeted him with great reverence, and asked, "Good teacher, what must I do to get eternal life?" Jesus said, "Why are you calling me good? No one is good, only God. You know the commandments: don't murder, don't commit adultery, don't steal, don't lie, don't cheat, honor your father and mother." He said, "Teacher, I have, from my youth, kept them all." Jesus looked him hard in the eye and loved him. He said, There's one thing left. Go sell whatever you own and give it to the poor. All your wealth will then be heavenly wealth, and come follow me. The man's face clouded over. This was the last thing he expected to hear. And he walked off with a heavy heart. He was holding on tight to a lot of things and not about to let go. Looking at his disciples, Jesus said, "Do you have any idea how difficult it is for people who have it all to enter God's kingdom?"
Wow.
The disciples couldn't believe what they were hearing, but Jesus kept on. You can't imagine how difficult. I'd say it's easier for a camel to go through a needle's eye than for the rich to get into God's kingdom. Listen, we might not consider ourselves rich,
Come on.
but He's talking much deeper than just riches.
Right.
There are things that we can hold on to.
Yeah.
See, the kingdom life, God's kingdom life, the life that God has for us is not to withhold anything back,
That's right. Right.
but to give everything. We have to give everything, not just a little bit of ourselves, but everything. Because see, if we try to lay up treasure down here, it can mold, it can rot, it can be stolen. But if we put our treasure in heavenly wealth,
Yeah.
in heavenly riches, nobody can touch that. Nobody can get a hold of that. What are you holding back this morning?
Come on.